let's talk about today's training. All right, we're starting off today with take a stand. What happens when we're entrepreneurs is we see so many opportunities. Most entrepreneurs are pretty creative. They figure things out. They see something and they're like, I could be doing that, or they feel like maybe this is the right path for me. But before we start taking action, before we start making those decisions, we want to go inside and do a deep dive into who we are. Because when you align your business with who you are and what's natural for you and what's easy for you, business becomes really easy. You're doing that thing that you're meant to do. And let me tell you, it doesn't seem normal because we're raised in a culture that tells us we have to work hard for money. And the exact opposite is true. Well, either can be true. I prefer the exact opposite, which is whatever comes most natural to you, what you are uniquely skilled at, is the very thing that you must charge the most money for. A lot of times people are giving that skill, that gift away because they're saying, well, anybody could do that, or, oh, that's just so easy for me. And they think that they shouldn't charge for it because it comes naturally and easily. I'm going to challenge you on that. That is your high value offer. And so how do you know what that is? One of the ways to recognize what that is for you to understand your own core value system. And here's why. Anytime one or more of your core values are being honored, you feel joyful. You feel like you're in the flow. Everything's easy. It feels natural. When you're in that place, that is a place where you can attract the most amount of money. When you're following your heart, when you're being on purpose, when you're aligned with who you are, other people can then find you and come to you. So, and before I go on, and the other side of that, anytime that one or more of your core values are being dishonored, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel stuck. Maybe you'll feel trapped. Those are good signs that you are dishonoring your core values. So it's pretty important to know what they are, because then in any moment when you're feeling joy, you can say, oh, that's because this value is being honored. Or when you're feeling stuck and like nothing's working, it's not that you have to think about it more and figure it out. It's that you simply get to identify what is being dishonored in you. What value do you hold that is being dishonored? So I have added a link to a core values list in today's post. You can click on that and download the worksheet. And what I want you to do is go through and ask yourself these questions. I want you to think of a time in your life when everything was going really well. Like you just felt on top of the world. It could be an event that happened. It could be a time period. But this one time when everything was just going so well. And then what I want you to do is capture that feeling in your heart, feel it, and then look at the list of values and ask yourself this. In this one moment, when I was feeling this way, is this word a value that was being honored for me? Don't get in your head. This isn't a shopping list. We don't care what your mom said you should do or be. We don't care what your family expects of you. We don't care what you wish you were. What we care about is the truth. And that is, in this one moment, is this a value that was being honored? Then just put a little mark next to the ones and trust your body. Your body's going to go, oh yeah, not your head. Well, I should feel good about that. It's kind of a trap. So I'm going to be reminding you. And then do the same process again with a new perspective. And this perspective is, think of a time in your life when things weren't going so well. Feel that. Read through your values and ask yourself if just in this one moment, this value that you held was being dishonored. All right? So go through that. Choose your top 5. If you have questions, ask me. This is the important first step so that we can build your platform on your value system. When I say this is on creating your stand, I want you to think of you building a stage for yourself. The top of the stage is your number one core value, and the four legs that support it are your four supporting values. And this is going to become your community, your Facebook group, your message, your talk, all the things, because you understand who you are and what you stand for. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about your messaging, which will build from this. By the way, each day's training builds on the previous day. So hello to you if you're here on the replay. That's fine. Go ahead and watch them in order. So don't jump ahead because it probably won't make sense because we're going to build this out together. So let's see who else has popped on. Oh, there we go. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Kristen. Good to see you guys. Hi, Melis. All right. So what is your stand? I want to dive into this a little bit more. I've given your assignment to you. Your stand is that thing that you bring into the world. It's that thing that you want to make an influence or an impact on. That's what it is. It's really important for us to align with our stand so that our message resonates from our heart. People buy based on emotion, you guys. So if you are resonating your message from your heart, it's much more likely to land with those people who are ideal clients because they are going to feel it. You want your ideal clients to be in alignment with what you stand for so that you can really create a connection and help them with the specific problem you solve. So we're going to identify your top 5. If you can get them down to your top 3, that's great. I'll go ahead and use my business as an example. So my number 1 core value is self-expression. Can you tell? When I'm expressing myself or when I'm helping someone else express themselves, I'm on top of the world. My second highest core value is freedom. Freedom is so important to me, and it's followed closely by connection. So the Entrepreneur Unleashed is a company that is built to help people express who they are, create freedom in their life through connection. That's what we're up to. We've been in business 15 years. That's what I've been up to from the day I opened my doors, helping people understand how to freely express who they are, how to connect with their audience, how to be real, how to take a stand, and how to change lives. It's all built on my core values. And do you see how easily it flows out of my mouth? I don't have to memorize something. I could just talk about it. And that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow in messaging. So what are your top 3 core values? 5 will work as well. If you can get it to 3, that's even better. And what do you stand for? So I have this written out for you. Ideally, you want your stand to be associated with your value system, right? So when I say I help entrepreneurs connect, that's a connection value, with their ideal clients so that they can monetize their message and share their purpose, their message, that's their self-expression, and live life on their own terms, that's freedom. That's my value. So you know your values, you don't have to use those specific words. It's just capturing the essence of them. All right, so go through today's assignment, get your values, create your stand. There's examples in the homework. Then go on to who is your work for. This is a little different than defining your avatar. If you've ever done that, that's good work too. But what I want you to know is what's the identity of the people who you serve? What's the identity and what's their desire? What is it that they really want to create? So whenever we have an identity and a desire, the reason we don't have our desire yet is because our identity hasn't shifted to be in alignment with that desire. So you get to help your clients understand how to shift some of their beliefs, shift some of their actions, shift whatever they're doing so that they can become the person who creates the outcome that they are desiring to have. Does that make sense? So an example for me is a lot of the people who come to me they're hiding, they're holding back, they're not sure how to get their message out. It feels really scary to be real in the marketplace. So I could call them the unseen entrepreneur. They're amazing. They've got all these gifts and talents. They really want to make money doing what they love. But rather than doing that, they're maybe trading time for money. They're in a job, or they've created a corporate career that's really successful, but they aren't really fulfilled. They feel like something's missing. They want to be what I call the unleashed entrepreneur. So the unleashed entrepreneur is to be expressed, to create a freedom lifestyle rather than a have to or should lifestyle. And then once you're done with that, so that's my example, I want you to dive into yours. You can think about who is your client now, what's the gap, and who do they want to become? And that makes it easy for you when you're speaking. I can think they're unseen entrepreneurs and they want to become unleashed entrepreneurs. So what's the gap there, and how can I support them in getting across that gap? How can I help them be seen? How can I help them feel safe being seen? How can I give them language to message their offers and all of those things? That's all the good gold stuff that I can do in the gap. So the same thing for you. Then who is your work not for, right? We want to weed those people out right up front. So I can tell you, for me, complainers, people who are really stuck to their story, like those, that doesn't work. I work with purpose-driven, action-oriented entrepreneurs who are willing to do what it takes to boldly make a shift and make the difference they're here to make in the world. So what is that for you? So that's really it. That's today's training. It might feel like a lot. Just sit down. There's just 4 parts to it. Choose your values, write down what you stand for, and then here's the homework. Take a sticky note and write your values on it, and take a picture of it and post it in the group. Why am I having you do that? Because I want you to have your values right in front of you. So put that sticky note on your computer, on your desk, in your kitchen, wherever you're working or just hanging out throughout the day. Put that sticky note with your values and what you stand for on it, to remind yourself, to really engage your unconscious mind about what it is that you are here to do, what you're up to, what you're committing to. And then take a picture of that and post it in the group with hashtag day1 and the hashtag purpose to profit. And then answer this question: how many clients or customers do you want, and by when? All right, so this is where we're going to get straight into the action. I can talk about your big picture and your vision and all of those things, but none of it matters if we're not actually getting out there and getting clients and helping people. So set your goal. How many clients or customers do you want, and by then? By when? We're going to talk about that some more as the week goes on. You have 24 hours to do your assignment if you want to be involved in the participate in the contest. There's no time limit. You could do this whenever if you're not playing in the contest or participating in the contest. But this is the real work. It's easy. It's reflective. It really gets you the opportunity to see your value, because you guys, your core values are equal to your market value. So if you don't know your core values and you're wanting to increase your value in the market, it's not that you need to go out in the market and look around and see what you should be doing or who you could be serving. You get to go inside and look for your gold. You get to go inside and talk to your heart. You get to go inside and look at your desires, at what brings you joy. If you can keep yourself in joy and following your desires, you're going to make more money than you could ever make when you're feeling frustrated or stuck or out of alignment or doing something for money, trading your time for money, taking a job that you don't like so you can pay the bills. You know, kudos to you for getting out and doing what you had to do, right? Or what you have to do in any situation. And there's more. You can do this on your own terms, being who you are, as long as you understand who you are. So that's why this is the important first step. Okay, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. I promise I keep these, I'm going to keep these little trainings to like 20, maybe 30 minutes, so you're not getting like overwhelmed with training. I want these to be action items that you can follow through on step by step, day by day, so we can build on them and get you out in the world making the money doing what you love and the amount of money that you want. So any questions, type them in. What are your questions about values, your stand, the identity, the gap, any of those kind of things that you have, or any questions about the challenge itself, I'm here to answer them. Let me see what's going on over here in the group. Patricia, hello. Good to see you here. Becky, you cleaned your office. I loved seeing that. You're like, I cleaned my office and I'm ready to go. Environmental design is so important. Little side note, guys. Sometimes I go off on rants when the opportunity appears. And here's an opportunity. Your environment always reflects back to you who you're being. So if you want to shift what's happening in your business or your life, change up your environment to reflect who you, how it would look if you were that person. So if I were, whatever your goal is, if I were a 6-figure earner, if I were a 7-figure earner, if I were, and it doesn't just have to be money, it could be if I had a thriving business making this amount of money and I was always available to pick up my kids from school or take them to school and go to their events and activities, what would my house look like? If I was just thriving and everything felt awesome, would it be organized or would there be chaos? Chaos in your environment creates chaos in your mind. So I loved it when Becky, who prompted this rant, she didn't know it, but she did, is just like posted, okay, I just cleaned my office and I'm ready to go. That's awesome. So I won't go into any more of that right now. We can talk about it a little bit later, but set yourself up in an environment that feels like you're going to win, that feels like you're ready to get in the game. All right, so back to the group. Let's see what questions there are. Oh, Melis, did I say that right? Balance, honesty, and truthful. Ooh, integrity, balance. Integrity is really strong for you because you said honesty and truthful, which is, those are both integrity values. So I'm curious what you do, but I'm guessing that integrity is at the root of it. And when we can bring that into your message and build your community based on that, I think it's going to work out really well for you. I'd love to hear what your business is. Lucy Douglas, freedom, passion, and courage. Oh my gosh, I can see some adventures in your business, like people breaking through and being courageous, aligning with their passion. That's awesome. You know, speaking of breaking through, before every breakthrough, there's a breakdown. I already wrote that in the group earlier because somebody was saying that they had a breakdown or so. They were feeling, I forget what it was, but they've been having a tough time. And don't let that slow you down. Look at that as cleaning space. When you have a breakdown, like that's just opening space for something new to come in. So look for the breakthroughs. If you're feeling resistance to any of the items that I assign you each day, notice it. That's where the opportunity for growth is. That's you right on the edge. Like just break right on through that. Don't just like look for it. Now I just look for those things and I'm like, oh, you're resisting that. Let's go. Time to do it. And it always comes back. It's like, wow, I'm so glad I went ahead and said yes to what I was resisting, because on the other side of it, I could not even have imagined what, I couldn't have figured this out in my brain. I had to just follow what was coming up for me because it's so good. Okay, let's see. Allison Watts, hello. Casey, hello. Good to see you guys here. Debbie, do values shift as we grow? That is an awesome question. You know, I think their importance shifts. Like for a long time, I said freedom was my number one value. And that's while I was a single mom who was raising 4 kids and refused to get a job, just knew I was going to figure it out, that they were going to have the life that I wanted for them no matter what. That was my freedom values. So I put a lot of emphasis on it because it was so important to me. But they've all kind of been there all along. I think they're kind of like a band or an orchestra, and sometimes it's time for the sopranos to sing, and sometimes it's time for the drummer to drum, right? But they're all just part of this amazing like support team for you. So I do think they shift. I don't think they change necessarily. I think we just lean on the ones that we need when we need them. Great question. Casey, what are your core values? My core values, I think I shared them. Creativity is in there. So we've got self-expression, freedom, connection, creativity. Fun is so important to me. I bring fun to everything that I do, no matter what. Like, even in sort of awkward or stressful situations where there might be conflict, I try to inject some fun to lighten the mood, because I know that joy is the highest vibration that we can live at. And when we can bring more joy into the world, things just happen. Like, things are just better. The world's better. The situation's better. The conflict's better. Everything's better. So maybe that's a joy value, actually, rather than a fun value, but I sure do like to have fun. Thanks for asking, Casey. Casey, sorry. And I can't wait to see what your guys's are. Say yes instead of no. Great to see you. You look awesome. Oh, well, thank you, my friend. Bex, hello. It's got to be integrity and compassion for me to give strength to other people. Ooh, so maybe personal power. Integrity, compassion, which is probably like connection. It would be a little deeper. You have compassion because you really are connecting with that person. And then to give strength to other people, that could be a personal power value. Is it? Like, look there and see. Like, one thing you guys can ask yourself is, why is that important? Personal power is in my top 10. Like, there's no way. Like, I love personal power. That's another reason I do what I'm doing. I want all of you guys and anybody who chooses to own their power and show up in the world and do the work that they want to do. So I would check there. Awesome. Other questions? Let's see. What else do we have? I inspire you, Casey. Awesome. You have so much gold. It's incredible. Kim, hello. How do you narrow your audience from helping everyone to a specific group of people? It starts by, we're going to go into messaging tomorrow, but it starts by that part we're doing today, like, who is this for and who is this not for? You know, you guys, a lot of times the way that we find out what we really want is by being faced with what we don't want, unfortunately. It doesn't have to be that way, but a lot of times that's what it takes for us. So look at, who do you not want to work with? Like, I've had clients, I made the mistake of saying yes to some people in the past who were really committed to being stuck and really committed to constantly showing up and having a story about how hard everything is. That is fine. I mean, that's their choice, right? You can live your life however you want. I'm just not the coach for you. There's somebody else who would do a much better job, because I don't get it. I'm not available for that stuff. I don't go there. Like, I'm looking for solutions. So start maybe with, what do you not want, or who is this not for? And then look at, if you could work with anyone, and look at this, do this little exercise. Let's say you're on stage and there are 300 people in the room, and you just told all 300 of them what you do and about your business. And you said, listen, I have a program I'm filling. I've got 20 spots. And you tell them a little bit about the 20 spots. And you say, if you want to know more or join the program, just raise your hand and we'll get you an order form. All 300 people raise their hand. And they're like, me, choose me. How would you choose? How would you choose? Come from abundance. The whole world wants what you have. How do you choose who you want to work with, who you can best serve, who you can really help? Because you have an idea who you can really help, right? It goes back to, like, who this is not for me. I can't help somebody who's really committed to staying stuck, and they're not willing to try something new. They're not willing to express themselves. So it's best if I know that and speak to it right up front. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. So the group, when you're saying a group of people, rather than looking at demographics, which is what we used to do in marketing years ago, it's now all about psychographics. So that's why I'm asking you guys to look at the identity of your prospective clients. We need to understand what they are feeling, what they identify with, using my example again, the unseen entrepreneur. They're feeling small. They're feeling like they're hiding. They're feeling like, oh my gosh, I've got all this stuff to get out and I don't know what to do, right? So look for their identity. That's another piece, Kim. Hopefully that helps. Kristen, hello. Emotional health, balance, connection, independence, and adventure. Which one's number one? Is it emotional health? So that's really cool because now you can help people connect with their own independence, create balance so that they feel emotionally healthy, right? And you don't have to use all these words in your messaging. We're going to get into that tomorrow. But you can start to see that's your stand. You can take them on this adventure to emotional health and start thinking about what would that adventure look like if I were to create an experience for people who were desiring emotional health. So come up with an identity, give that group a name, the people who are desiring emotional health, create the identity of the future for them. They're already super healthy emotionally. If you could create an adventure for them that included connection and independence that would show them emotional health, what would that be? This is where we can start getting into some offers that are unique to you guys, that only you guys can deliver because they're based on your unique set of values. It's your deep why, which is your purpose, your passion, and your profit. Let me see. Kimberly says that helps. Yay. Pamela, hello. Good to see you here. Don. Hi, Don. My number one value keeps coming up as love. Within that, there's allowance, connection, truth. Love is connection. Love is a feeling that is created through connection. That's a connection value. Allowance, like, do you mean like acceptance of each other? Like, that could be respect, which would be like integrity. It could be allowance, might be like a little bit more of connection. I think you've got a really strong connection value. And from what I know of you and the work you do and the horses, like connection has to be really strong in there. Truth would probably be integrity. So look at that and look at the language. You guys, language is power. Words are so powerful. So go look up the word integrity. For those of you, there's a few of you in here that are using that word. And what does it mean? What's the root word of integrity, right? It's connected with integration. Like really look deeply because that's what's coming through you. Are these values? Kristen, I can see it. Thank you. I can't wait to see it. That's awesome. Dawn says, yes, thank you. All right, you guys are on it. You're already getting your values clarified and thinking about your, the identities of your clients, where they're at, where they're going. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about, let me go over a little bit about what we've got here. Tomorrow is your message. So we're going to make these messages that stand out from your values. So make sure you get your values done tonight or today, wherever you may be, and post them in the group. And then we're going to talk about creating a buzz. How do we get the word out? Now that we know your values, now that we've created your message, how do we let people know on day 3? And then on day 4, we're going to really start looking at building your community. Which I really love Facebook groups. Communities are the future. Facebook groups are growing like wildfire and they are not going to slow down. Facebook is creating categories. It's going to be almost like little TV shows, kind of like when we turn on your smart TV and you've got all these apps. That's what's happening with Facebook groups. You're going to have all these options of which community do I want to jump into? Where are my people? Where is my tribe? Who do I go to for inspiration? Who do I go to for health? Who do I go to for any number of things, right? Facebook groups are in their infancy. So I really want you guys to look at building yours and bringing people in that you can work with, that you can serve. So we're going to talk about that on day 4. And then on day 5, we're going to talk about your offers and, how do I serve this community and make offers without feeling salesy or overwhelming them or, all of those things. We're going to talk about it because I'm doing that right now. This is leading to my Breakthrough Mastermind. I'm going to invite some of you to take a look at my Breakthrough Mastermind and see if you want to continue on with me. And that's fine. And if you do, great. And if you don't, great, because I'm giving tons of value right here, showing you what it's like to work with me. And that's what I want you guys to do as well. Build that community, be of service, give tons of value, give them the opportunity to work with you, and your business will follow. Your business will grow like crazy. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up right there unless there's any questions. Let me see. Your word is your integrity. Yeah, this collaboration is fabulous. Yeah, collaboration is so cool. And you guys are already collaborating. Remember to find your accountability buddy. Share your values with each other. Cheer for each other. Like each other's posts. Comment. We're going to take this outside of this group when you're ready to get the word out on day 3. So build a community here of people who will support you and that you can collaborate with over these next 5 days, or who knows, maybe for 5 years. Who knows where this might lead? So make sure you get your buddy. Montreal says, my values are love, integrity, caring, and helping others. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So love, again, is a connection values. You're here to help people connect with one another, possibly with themselves. Integrity, caring. I also hear service. You've got a strong service value, Montreal, like helping others. That's service. Service for love and integrity. It's beautiful. Let's put together a really great message with that. See, this is really easy for me, you guys. This is one of my gifts, is looking at who someone is and showing them how they can message it and bring it out in the world. So if you'll do the work and put the values in here, I will help you as much as you will let me. I am all in to make sure you get great value from this 5-day challenge. Debbie says, awesome, thank you. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I will be back tomorrow. You'll get your email in the morning with your assignment. We're also posting that in the group, so no worries, it'll be there too. And if you have any questions, put them in the group. Keep posting your pictures. I love seeing your faces and where you're from. Keep connecting with one another. And I will see you all together again tomorrow. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. I'll go back and read through the comments and answer questions and connect with you there. And you guys remember, be real, take a stand, and change lives. Bye for now.